morning, Tammy. Say good morning to our friends.
Hey, good morning.
Q&A session, because we're going somewhere. Bondvo says, is the first signs of blood day 0 or day 1? I've heard you refer to as both. Just want to make sure I'm numbering and mapping out my day's heat right.
Day 1.
So, the answer to this is this thing is not measured. I mean, whether you choose day 0 or day 1, honestly, doesn't make any difference, because we're not worried about that part of it. We're worried at the other end when the progesterone levels are at 5, 8, or 15. So, I typically count the first signs I see blood as day 1. They're not day 0, but day 1. But I mean, is it in the afternoon? Maybe you count it as day 0. I really don't think this matters that much. So I think you're getting into the minutiae that's really not going to be particularly helpful. It's like the same thing when you talk about, well, I'm not going to go into that.
Well, it's nice to keep a white towel. That way you know exactly if you want day 1 or day 2.
Yeah, well, that's another good point here. What is day 1? No, is day 1 first signs of swelling? No. Is day 1 first signs of physical blood? Yes. So that can be a difficult thing to determine too.
If you have that white towel in the bed with them, then you know exactly. And you see spots.
Or some panties on the dog.
Huh?
Or some wearable panties.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, when you see the swelling, start throwing a blanket in the bed or a white towel in the bed with them.
I talked about milk production, and Jamie Lynn corrected me, and thank you. It's fenugreek for milk production. Phenagrin is a medication for nausea. Yes, so that's exactly right. It's fenugreek, and fenugreek is a seed, if I remember rightly. So thank you. That's exactly right. Somebody here's having a Pembroke Welshie, and they're saying thank you for the help. Yeah, well, good luck with you on that. That's to Haley H. Toya Cade says, I'm new in breeding. Wonder could a vet help with breeding your Frenchies? Yeah, I mean, certainly, you need to have a vet on board. You need to have a relationship with the vet, because you're going to have C-sections at the back end of this. You may need some help with doing progesterone tests and all those kind of things. I mean, all of this stuff, except for the C-section, we completely take control of it ourselves. And you can learn how to do that too. And I like that as an answer, because that way, you're not getting somebody else involved to make mistakes, basically, or at least you can confirm what you're being told is correct. But yeah, you're going to need a vet. Absolutely going to need a vet, and vets can be helpful. And then there's some vets who are very knowledgeable on this, and some vets not so much. Susan Brocksmith says it's Royal Canin, not Royal Canine. That's exactly right. It's not canine for the Royal. We're talking about food now. It's not K-I-N-I-N-E. It's It's C-A-N-I-N.
Take exit 138.
Not a K-S-C, rather. So it's Royal Canin, not Royal Canine. Thank you.
I always say canine.
I do too, but it is Canin.
I'm thinking of the dog. Who knows what I'm thinking?
Is it normal for my dog to pant and nest a day after C-section? We've got some replies here. Someone says, Sheena Wolf says, low calcium could cause these symptoms.
Right. Nervous.
Somebody else says, take temperature if she's using heat lamp, she's too hot. That's both.
Oh, get the heat lamp out of there.
Both good answers. Both good answers. Yeah, so look, normally the panting is quite common. That very common. The nesting, not so much, but I mean, I wouldn't get too worried. I think the important thing about any of this is, if you're in doubt of whether the dog's got some kind of a problem, take the dog's temperature. If it's 101.5 or higher, time to go to the vet and find out what the freak's going on. Otherwise, probably just fine, just let it be.
Our whelping system, heated whelping system.
Well, that's right. So
MyBreederSupply.com.
Tell them all about that. Tell them why is it so good?
Because it's not using the heat lamp where it can fall on the babies and burn the babies, or as you're trying to clean it up, you burn yourself. It makes Mama miserable, hot. She doesn't want to be with the babies because she's too hot in there. That heated whelping system is cool in the middle where Mother lays. The only heat is around the edge of the cage with the pig railing where the babies get underneath there and stay nice and warm. After they nurse on mama and fall off and get a little chilled, they go straight to that heat tape there.
So they spend 95% of the time or more under the pig rail when they just couldn't be in a safer place. And mum doesn't have any anxiety because she's there with babies. So
Right.
Okay. Veronica Brown says, can you breed a female that has swimmer's syndrome? Well, yes. I mean, look, swimmer's syndrome is simply that the dog's got a flat chest because it didn't get up on its back legs in a timely manner and needs some help to make that happen. It's not genetic. It's just the product of a fat dog that's lazy and getting lots of milk. Nothing genetic here at all. Fix the problem, get the flat chest unflatted by basically getting up its legs, be fine. There's no reason not to raise our dogs to have babies. Not a genetic thing at all. I mean, say when it's not a genetic thing, it could be the product of a small litter with a mum with good milk. I don't consider that a genetic problem, but that could be the product of that, could be a swimmer puppy. Because it gets lots of milk, doesn't have any competition, it just lays there like a walrus and just drinks. I'd do that if I had that option. How about you, Tammy? You had too many brothers and sisters to fight. Well, sisters anyway.
I had two, like you.
That's right. We're talking about dew claws and somebody says it may be Team Pros Fit says it may be a good video if it didn't have to watch 30 minutes of dog food promotion. So what's going on here is with YouTube, if you allow ads on your YouTube video, you get more exposure. So without that, I mean, look, you know, why is YouTube or Google even putting my videos up? Only one reason: they're trying to make money. That's it. The only way they make money is for you to buy products. And so for that reason, they promote videos by putting adverts in them. And so that's just the evil part of the whole basically free process. So I know it's frustrating when you see the adverts and there's not a darn thing you can do. You just have to hope that what you're going to see at the other end of the video is worth watching. We try to make that content useful, but I really, if I got rid of the advertising, then I don't think I'd get the promotion of my videos. So there's the answer on that. Other people got ideas? Chime in. Well, what else? Where can I visit your business? Tammy Cho, where can they visit our business?
What?
How can they find out about the products that we sell? Where can they go?
Oh, www.mybreederssupply or mybreedersupply.com.
Last one here. Lewis DeBranda says, it looks like your procedure works for you, but I prefer a more sterile situation. Well, I'm not going to argue with that, Lewis. I think that the more sterile you can keep things, the better off. I mean, but to put this in, we're talking about collecting from a dog, by the way. So these days we do use gloves, we do use new everything, we use new cups, but the cups aren't sterilized. But look, I mean, the reality of this is the whole medium that you're working with here is not a sterile environment. The dog, the male and the female, if they're breeding together, there's nothing sterile about any of that. I mean, they've been rooting around in poo and pop and dirt and everything else. So we do our best effort to clean off the dog before we collect into a brand new cup that's not reused, with gloves on, all those kind of things, and with extender that is sterile. But there's a limit of quite how much you can do here. I think certainly when we include AI rods in our shipments that go out, that's new. We don't advise anybody to reuse that stuff because there is a possibility of getting a uterine infection.
Right.
But point taken. I'm not disagreeing with you. She also says another clue that your dog is pregnant is around 4 weeks gestation. They will emit a clear jelly-like discharge after urinating. Without testing that, has always been the most reliable confirmation without going to the vet. The problem with this is you don't often see it. So the jelly-like substance can fall out anything from as early as 4 weeks before. Well, let's just talk about what the jelly-like substance is. It is the mucus plug that forms over the entrance to the cervix to stop muck and dirt getting into the uterus. When a dog dilates, opens up a little bit, that mucus plug can fall out, or it can just fall out by itself. And it falls out anywhere from 4 weeks beforehand, but typically not until maybe a few days before birth. So to me, you likely miss it. I say how often do you think you see the mucus plug?
How often?
1 in 4? 1 in 4 times?
Yeah, probably.
So 25% of the time we catch it. So to me, the more reliable way of finding out if a dog's pregnant is doing at 30 days, either doing a I can't think of the word, a Raxon test, blood test, going and have an ultrasound put down. Maybe you can palpitate. Those are all things that are good indicators whether the dog's pregnant. I think that's it for this one. You've got 11 minutes gone, so thanks for watching. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.